Looks like tag. I'm it. Guess I might as well get started with the next reveal. Got a bunch of people around in the channel. And, well, no time like the present, right? So here we go. This is a 1972 machine wrapped roll. They are becoming more and more scarce. As time goes on, a lot of them have been opened up and searched already. This one has not. I will find my roll opening mechanism and get started. These old bat door style rolls can be kind of hard to open sometimes, but if you have a little tool like I have, it makes them pretty simple. 1972, chance anyway, a chance of finding double dies worth in excess of $4,000. So now the reason they're worth $4,000 is because they're extremely rare. So our chances of finding one are going to be kind of small, but you can't find them if you don't look. That's what my mama told me. All right, so here we go. Wrapper over the coins. Open this up and see where we can go. Duck, Duck, Goose, that's right. The latest installment of Duck, Duck, Goose. Coming to your TV today. What's this? Is this a... Okay, it's just a messed up black spot on the edge of the coin. Okay, here we go. Coin number one. In the hunt for double dies from 1972. All right, this was the roll end coin. So to get this all focused in, it's going to have just a little bit less, viability, I guess, than the others. The grade's going to be a little lower. Well, we have one lucky thing getting us started here. This is not a master die doubled roll. Shortly after all these 1972 double dies were created, they changed the master die to one that had a little bit of doubling on it. You can tell especially because the N appears to be re-engraved. The N of in appears to be re-engraved. And you won't find any major double dies in rolls like that. Too late in the year. But if you're looking at rolls like this one, it appears all of the coins are of this earlier style. That's where all your double dies are. I'm going to get my light just a little better. And get my shine just a little bit better. There we go. Hey, Coins and Ghouls, what's going on, buddy? Got Eric Dirty Water, Coins and Ghouls, and DC along with Chuck. Let's see what we have. On this one, coin number 2, I show not much at all. Now, there are double dies known in the Liberty area. Double dies known, especially in the 2 of the date. And then others have the doubling up in the motto as well. And we're looking for all of that. Any or all. The one thing that we do not know about is whether there are any double die reverses. Double die reverses seem to be a non-existent character for 1972, which I guess could make sense because that was always the anvil die back in those days, the bottom die. And so when you'd mint coins, that hammer die would come down and hit the anvil die. They wore out a little bit faster, the anvil die did, and they were a little harder to fit in the machine. So this is where the die press operator would make their mistake in filing off the keys on the side of the dies for 1972, and in some cases that produced rather disastrous perfection results, which are awesome for us. But this one, these coins are in really good shape in this roll. This is a very nice roll of coins. Hey, Jeff. Coins and Ghouls has a hunt tonight. Pray tell, Adam, what do you got going on? Advertise it here. Let people know about it. All right, next coin, Stanley. Now this one could be one of the listed double dies. I'm going to have to put that aside and take a look at it later. John Wexler has listed a number of different double dies. It looks like a bunch of little die scratches in the upper, above the bottom bar. You're doing an overnight in an old morgue in Ozark? Oh my. I didn't know there was an old morgue in Ozark. Oh, this is one of the master die doubled coins. Yeah. You can see the doubling on the U in trust. You can especially see that the N in in looks like it's engraved, re-engraved. Man, I tell you what, dude, if I could make it to something like that you're doing, I would love to join you. I grew up about 10 miles away from Ozark. Up until I was 8 years old, I lived in Nixa, which is just next door to Ozark. In fact, for a while, my cousin went to school in Ozark. I would love to be able to make it down there and go to that. What do you think about the Crescent Hotel? Have you ever done the Crescent Hotel? That's one of very few places I have ever seen anything that resembled a shadow or a ghost to me. Next one up is Carl. I'm going a little slower than I normally do just because I want to be sure I catch everything. I don't want to miss a thing. That would be a really cool one, I think. And the Basin Park Hotel, or Park Basin Hotel, Basin Park Hotel, the one in downtown. That one I have spent a few nights in. Over time, I used to go down there with my ex-wife for anniversaries, and we would spend the weekend in Basin Park Hotel. And I have experienced some odd feelings in that one, but I've never actually seen anything. But in the Crescent, I did see something. We were actually doing the tour, and they have tours. I don't know if it's just a Halloween season thing or if it's a year-round thing, but they do have ghost tours in the Crescent where they'll take you down to the morgue room, and where the doctor did his autopsies, and there's actually an autopsy table down there. And a number of us saw a shadow dash across one of the doorways. And it appeared to be somebody. But then when the tour guide peered around the door, there wasn't anybody there. It was like a kitchen. I don't remember everything about it. It's been a number of years ago. But there's that, and also in Springfield, Missouri, there's a place called the Pythian Castle that they do ghost tours there, and I've been on their ghost tour twice. And I personally did not experience anything, but my wife, in the dungeon in that place, there's a stone room downstairs in the basement, and it's supposedly where prisoners of war were held. And in the dungeon room, there was what an appropriate day to talk about this. Happy Halloween, everybody. We were doing part of a tour guided investigation down there. A bunch of people brought recorders and stuff. We didn't bring anything, but they were trying to catch EVPs or whatever they could down there. And in order to get this one ghost to come out and make itself known, you have to be able to speak pretty good German. And I could. So I spoke German, asked him all kinds of questions. And toward the end of that thing, my wife was she was standing in the very corner of the room. It was basically standing room only. There were like 40 people down there. And she was in the very corner of the room, in the southeast corner of the room, and I was right next to her. And it was a little bit chilly because it was in October. And she was wearing like a Gore-Tex Columbia jacket. And when that part of things was over and they turned a light back on so we could see, because it was pitch black in there. When they turned the light back on so we could see, something pushed my wife from behind against her arm, and there couldn't have been anything there because she was in the very corner of a stone room, leaning up against the corner of the stone room. When she was pushed, there's no way anyone could have gotten behind her. And so I heard her jacket make a flutter noise. She fell into me. And I'm like, well, what's going on? She said, somebody pushed me. I said, nobody could push you. You're right up against the corner of the room. She says, I know. I could feel the stone behind me. But something pushed me. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And for about the next 5 or 10 minutes, she was really nauseous and felt like a cold spell. And then it was over. Just a few minutes of odd feeling with something pushing her. I could say that I experienced it because I could actually hear it. And when she was pushed directly into me. But I wasn't aware of what was going on at the exact time it happened. I haven't been to... I've been to Jefferson City a number of times, but I haven't been to the prison there. I know exactly where it is. It's along the south bank of the Missouri River, just to the east of the state capitol building. But I've never actually been inside of it. My mother has. Chubby Pop Chaser. Wasn't there a point in time that they had real problems with disease in that prison? It was like tuberculosis or something. That prison's been around for a long time. Still watching here for double dies. I'll stop my useless discourse and come back to coins at any point that I happen to see anything that's worth discussing. Hey everybody, Adam and I are from the same state. Different parts of the state, but we're from the same state. And tonight he's going to be spending the night in my stomping ground. Place where we used to do the square. It's one of those old towns with a county seat and they had a square downtown around the courthouse. We used to go down to the square and cruise the square in downtown Ozark. And just because we have the Ozark Plateau and the Ozark Mountains and Ozark, Missouri and Ozark, Arkansas doesn't mean that Ozark is limited to those areas. Ozark is actually an Americanization name that comes after Ozarks, which was a French term meaning around the bend, river bend. We are not finding this. 72 rolls, man, I tell you what, they can be real hit or real miss. And you just never know. We still have a chance of finding something in here. Trust me. I've seen rolls that only had... I opened a roll one time and it had a 1972 Double Die Obverse number 2 in it. And it was the only one in the roll. I got it more than halfway through the roll. I have ceased looking at the reverses of these coins because I'm just not going to catch anything on them. Have another reveal coming up this afternoon. I can't tell you right now what it is. If only I could remember. But I don't. Somebody else could go out and look for me. What's the title on reveal number 682? Then we'll all know. The 46S, that's correct. I have it sitting right here in front of me. All right, one for Mark. Never know what you could run into in 1972. There's so many coins that are considered searched, but that was just because whomever was looking for like a DDO number 1, 2, or 3, they weren't looking for the more minor stuff that we know exists at this point. If I ever see 1972 cents, I look for everything. I'm not sure about that, DC. One of the biggest outlaws of Missouri history was Jesse and Frank James. And I think they were both killed. I don't think either one of them did any prison time. I think Frank killed Jesse. Well, Frank died later. I don't think he ever did any time, though. Eric Maith. Some rather early die state. Nice, clean-looking coins, but no die varieties. Missouri prison was built and opened in 1836. It didn't shut down until the 1990s. That's kind of creepy. Thinking of a prison that's been open for well over 100 years. (2004). Okay, I thought it was 94, but you would know a lot better than I would. Big old stone prison. Yeah, I corrected myself on that, Eric. Frank wasn't killed. Frank died of old age, and I think on his deathbed he admitted to the murder of his brother. course, back then they considered that a favor. There's one for Eric Bayer. That one's a little dark. Nothing there. Really, hear people walking behind you? Huh. Like you're on the tour and the ghosts just follow you along? Yeah, he shot his brother in the back. He was straightening or hanging a picture in the background, standing on a chair. Frank walks in, shoots him in the back of the head. Back or the back of the head, I can't remember exactly what part of the body got shot. That could be read wrong. At first, when I saw it, I was like, well, I wonder what his sister-in-law did to get in prison. But you're talking about during an investigation. What's up, Frosty? We're talking ghost sightings, ghost paranormal appearances, and other things to that effect. I saw somewhere where somebody was doing something about... they were posting pictures of the sky and contrails in the sky and calling them chemtrails. I can't believe there's still people who believe in that. But for some reason they were supposed to be seeding clouds to make the huge storms that blow people away. And that was the reason why we have the big hurricanes and stuff. Some people's conspiracy theories just go way off the chain. As far as I'm concerned, climate change is kind of a proven thing. And, I mean, you can deny it if you want to. But I didn't say humans caused it. I'm just saying that climate change is a given. The polar caps are melting. Along the North Carolina coast, there's a bunch of cypress forests that are dying off because they require fresh water. And they're basically sitting in swamps of brackish water because the sea has risen so much, the Atlantic Ocean has risen so much that now its water gets into these trees and kills them. Stanley? I think I picked this roll up from so I'm pretty sure this one came from my buddy in Virginia. And I bought this along with another big group of rolls. I think it was probably 2015. So I've had this for a long time. I don't know about Dismal Swamp. It's just the tree lines along the backwaters from the Outer Banks. The trees are all dying. One for Frosty. Now there's a later dice date right there. Have a mishmash of stuff in this. Hello, Frank. Good morning. Must be like Western time for you. You must be out in California or Oregon or something. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. Of course, I live about 100 miles from the Atlantic Ocean in North Carolina. North Carolina. You know, they put potassium something in the clouds using a small airplane, and they would seed it kind of like they're crop dusting the clouds. What people are pointing out now is some nefarious thing the government is doing to control people. It's basically just contrails of commercial jets that cross over one another near and around major flight paths. And these people are trying to claim that it's some form of mind control or something, that they're putting these stripes of cloud in the skies. And then there's somebody like that wants to tell you something about something else, and it's like, I can't really listen to this. This dude is now proving he has no clue what he's talking about, right? It's like some of the nuts that you find on online talking about weird garbage. Stationed in Virginia. Must have been Norfolk. My wife's uncle lived in that area. He was a Master Chief Petty Officer in the Navy. Or he might have been a Senior Master Chief Petty Officer. Don't know what the highest enlisted rank is, but I believe that was his rank. And very, very good guy. But he was very much a sailor. Through and throughout. He retired from it and then kept going. Master Chief. Okay. Yeah. He was the kind that had the bird and the anchor, and then I think it was 2 stars up above. Sometimes you never know until you actually dig in and start looking, but this appears to be a normal roll. Although some of these coins are just fantastic condition. Some of them are. Some of them have black spots on them too, so. Some of your best rolls have the most mixed grades within. It's almost like they forgot to mess up a few of them. But, as it were, I ain't found nothing in this roll. That's 40 coins in now. Do coin number 41, Chubby Pop Chaser. I'll be doing my next roll, the 1946S roll. I'll be starting it 10-15 minutes after I finish this one. And then that'll be it for the day. I have some other responsibilities to get into. I won't be doing another show until Saturday. I take the day off tomorrow. That's kind of weird. Look at what that planchet wash did. Bubble up. Anybody? That is a mighty strange looking BU coin right there. Frank, if you want to register for our auctions, you can send an email. If somebody could put in the email address in there, coppercoinspayments@gmail.com, just send us your name and the email address you want us to send a PayPal invoice to. Now, PayPal invoices, you don't have to have a membership at PayPal to pay a PayPal invoice. You pay it straight from your credit or debit card. Comes straight out of your email. You don't have to sign in, no username, no password, none of that. There it is. Thanks, Mickey. coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. That's who you email. Get yourself signed up to join us at auction. You'll get an email. Oh, just basically a once a week email letting you know when the show is. Usually 7 o'clock on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. on Tuesdays Eastern Time. We get into doing our, well, somewhat weekly auction. I'm starting to slow down just a little bit and not do as much as I had in the past. I will be doing an auction this Tuesday, but I will probably skip the following Tuesday. I am working toward planning a Cyber Monday auction where we will do an auction on Monday that will last for hours. So I'll come in like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and get started. And you can come and go as you please. We'll have electronic hors d'oeuvres and electronic drinks at the electronic bar. But I will be selling rolls and singles and die varieties all afternoon. And items will start at $1. That's going to be on Cyber Monday. That will be the Monday after Thanksgiving. So anybody who wants to dig into that, this is the first anybody's ever heard of it except for me. I've been thinking about it. Now I'm going to start actually broadcasting about it, and I'm going to advertise and see if we can't get a whole covey of people in there. We're going to be doing giveaways. There will be stuff going for way too cheap. An email question. Email message? This is the last coin in this roll. It goes to Frosty, and it is not a double die. So, kind of had a dud this time around. Can't expect that everything's going to have something in it, but I'll get this wrapped up and get it sent off to Eric for another check to be sure I didn't miss anything. And here in about, I'm going to say by 2:30 or within 15 minutes, I will be in on my next roll, which will be the 1946 S roll. Oh, what's this all about? Lakefront Lures. First thing, get registered with me so you'll be able to get the emails on this, but we're going to have a big coin sale on the, it's going to be an auction, very large auction, that will run from probably 3 or 4 p.m. on Monday through 8, 9 p.m. It's going to be an hours-long auction. And it'll be on Cyber Monday. That will be the Monday after Thanksgiving. American Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving was this past month. And it will be lots and lots and lots of coins, singles. There will be group lots. There will be rolls, group lots of rolls, albums, albums with coins, albums without coins. The lakefront lures. If you send me an email, send me an email. Where am I? What am I doing? Here we go. Copper coins payments at gmail.com. Coppercoinspayments at gmail.com. Basically, what I require is your YouTube username, your real name, and the email address you would want me to mail a PayPal invoice to should you spend any money with me. That's all I need from you, and you are registered. Registration is free. There are no deposits. There are no forefronts or anything else. All you got to do is send me an email, and I'll get you registered. And then I'll send you an email updating you on when the auctions will be, and you will be able to follow along and know exactly when we're going to be live. But that's what that is. We are going to be taking off now here for about 15 minutes, and I'll come back with the next reveal. It's going to be a 1946 S roll. I appreciate it, guys. Go out in the lobby and take a look. Look around for reveal number 682. You wait in there for me, and I'll be in there in just a little while. Have fun.